Ride along with me today as I go over bridges, check out Lake Apopka, explore downtown Winter Garden and the Plant Street Market and the Farmers Market. Go inside a railroad caboose, see azaleas in bloom, and look inside an owl's ear. Welcome to Ed Cycles. I'm your host, Ed. Today's ride, I'm exploring the West Orange Trail. Right now I'm at the west end of the trail at the Killarney Station trailhead. Killarney Station is located approximately 17 miles due west of the city of Orlando. The West Orange Trail is approximately 22.4 miles in length and passes through the towns of Oakland, Winter Garden, Ocoee, and Apopka. There are 9 trailheads spread throughout the length of the trail, plus an additional 2 on a spur trail. This trailhead is located in West Orange County, right at the Lake County line. It's just north of State Road 50 and about 1 mile west of the Turnpike. It's accessible from Route 438. Go west on US 50 about 1 mile west of Florida's Turnpike, turn right onto Oakland Avenue, and then left on Route 438 to get to Killarney Station. Killarney Station has plenty of free parking, permanent restrooms, a bike repair station with air pump, water fountain, and a picnic shelter. Bike rental, sales and repairs, and drinks and snacks are available on site through Bikes and Blades when they are open. Just west of the Killarney Station trailhead is the start of the West Orange Trail. It's also the start of the South Lake Trail, which will be covered in another video. This first segment of approximately 1.6 miles goes past Killarney Station over the Turnpike and up to the Oakland Nature Preserve, and it runs parallel to Route 438, known locally as Oakland Avenue. I'm going to start the mileage counter 0.0 right here at the west end of the West Orange Trail. It's a great day for a bike ride. The West Orange Trail does not call their trailheads. This trail has stations and outposts. Outposts are typically just a vehicle parking area, whereas stations have more facilities in addition to the parking area. They typically have permanent restrooms, a bike repair station with air pump, and a water fountain. There is additional overflow vehicle parking available at this lot just east of Killarney Station, and it is also accessible from Route 438. This section here is a recent adjustment to the trail to make room for a new traffic circle on Oakland Avenue. The West Orange Trail begins in the city of Oakland. Oakland is a western suburb of Orlando and has a population of 3,516 according to the 2020 census. Incorporated in 1887, Oakland has a total land area of 2.36 square miles. This bridge goes over the Turnpike. The original railroad bridge was demolished in 2022 in order to widen the Turnpike and eliminate the support piers that were going to be in conflict with the planned Turnpike widening. The new bridge spans the entire length with a support pier in the Turnpike median and was designed to incorporate the feel of the original railroad bridge. This bridge was opened for the trail in September of 2023 and has a span of 315 feet. This entrance to the Oakland Nature Preserve is accessible only from the West Orange Trail. There is a water fountain and several interpretive signs. Unfortunately, no bicycles are allowed on the dirt trails. Just 1/10 of a mile further along the trail is the vehicle entrance to the Oakland Nature Preserve on Machete Trail. This is officially a trailhead with plenty of free parking. A small museum features some of the smaller natives and includes an inviting spot to take a break. A bulletin board is kept up to date so you know what plants to expect to be in bloom at that time. The preserve features an elevated boardwalk that is 6/10 of a mile long and goes from the parking area out to Lake Apopka. While bicycles are not allowed to be ridden on the boardwalk, I did ask and was given permission to walk my bicycle on the boardwalk for this video. The Oakland Nature Preserve was formed in 1999 by a group named the Friends of Lake Apopka. Its purpose is to preserve this habitat on the shore of Lake Apopka for environmental education. The preserve itself is owned by the City of Oakland. Consisting of 150 acres, it is open with free admission to the public for self-guided tours and for bird watching. All along the length of this boardwalk, there are many helpfully informative signs to assist you with identifying plants and to make you aware of what animals may be in this preserve area. The boardwalk ends at this large covered pavilion on the shore of Lake Apopka. Continuing on the West Orange Trail for another 7/10 of a mile, I arrive at Oakland Outpost. Just before the Oakland Outpost at mile 2.2 is Wesley's Herb Garden. I wanted to find out who this person Wesley is. It took me a while, but I figured out that the healthy West Orange, if you take the first letters of each word and rearrange them and put them together, you get kind of a stick figure that represents healthy West Orange with the mascot name Wesley. Healthy West Orange is a grassroots movement to inspire local residents to eat well and to stay active. So Wesley is associated with the bike trails, farmers markets, herb gardens, Oakland Preserve Boardwalk, 5K runs, and other fitness events and venues. Wesley is the orange figure you see here. The Healthy West Orange Arts and Heritage Center was built to preserve Oakland's past, present, and future. As I rode past, I heard, "I know you," and thus I met Ed and his wife, who are big fans of my YouTube channel. Thank you both for watching, and thank you for the shout out. Really appreciate it. It made my day. At mile 2.3 is the Oakland Outpost. This trail outpost has a good bit of free parking and is located at the City of Oakland Town Hall. Another 1.2 miles along the trail at mile 3.5 is the Tildenville Outpost. Very close to the Oakland Outpost is Vanderlei Park. Located at 117 Gully Avenue in Oakland, it is a city-owned park that features 2 picnic shelters with picnic tables and grills and several benches. Dedicated in 2018, it is named after John Vanderlei, the mayor of Oakland from 1998 to 2004. Somewhere in this area is where the trail transitions from the City of Oakland to the City of Winter Garden. A western suburb of Orlando, Winter Garden is located about 14 miles west of downtown Orlando. As of the 2020 census, the population is over 46,000. This butterfly garden is located at mile 3.5 and is accessible from both the West Orange Trail and the Tildenville Outpost parking lot. Many informative signs will help you to identify the plants located here. This outpost has a dirt parking lot and a porta potty. This next section of the trail goes into downtown Winter Garden and up to Winter Garden Station. The trail continues to parallel State Road 438. In the city of Oakland, it is called Oakland Avenue. When you cross into the city of Winter Garden, it is called Plant Street. The trail goes through downtown Winter Garden as shown here. I decided to venture off trail just a bit, and the first place I went to was this long building along Central Avenue. This is the Plant Street Market and Crooked Can Brewery at 426 West Plant Street. This long building houses an indoor artisan market and features 20-some businesses offering a variety of food and beverages. It is very popular, as I might imagine, and has over 12,000 square feet. Here's a closer look at the inside with all the food vendors.
And then you can just go in there and grab a drink.
Just a couple of blocks further east from Plant Street Market is the Winter Garden Farmers Market. Located along Lakeview Avenue and along Tremaine Street, this farmers market is open year-round, but only on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. As you can see, it's very popular with many vendors.
Waiting up and down the boulevard, their shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion that is like somewhere in the night. Thank you. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people, don't stop believing. Hold on to that.
Just to the east of the farmers market area is the Central Florida Railroad Museum. They're located at the intersection of Tremaine Street and South Boyd Street. This is Mike Forrester of the Central Florida Railway Historical Society.
So the Central Florida Railroad Museum here in Winter Garden was opened in 1983. We're in a depot built by the Tavares and Gulf Railroad that's been here since 1913. So we're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's free admission. Inside, you're going to find exhibits about the early railroads in Central Florida, specifically here in West Orange County, including the Orange Belt Railroad, which now is the West Orange Trail, just a block away from here. And the West Orange Trail pretty much follows the route of the Orange Belt Railroad. And through downtown Winter Garden, it also paralleled the Tavares and Gulf Railroad. So you actually had two railroads coming through downtown Winter Garden. None of them are here anymore, but fortunately we have the trail, which brings over 1 million visitors a year through downtown Winter Garden.
The mission of this museum is to share the history of railroading in Central Florida. This museum is run by members of the Central Florida Railway Historical Society. These members act as docents to guide your visit to the museum, answer your questions, and explain the exhibits. In addition to the displays, the museum also hosts guest speakers who present talks on various topics of railroad history in Central Florida. The museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and always with free admission. Big thanks to Mike and Ted and all the folks at the Central Florida Railroad Museum. As you can see, the trail at this point goes right down the median center of the street. It's possible to access many vendors for food and drink and coffee and pretty much anything right from the trail, right next to the trail. I understand that a popular spot for cyclists to stay, especially those doing the Florida coast-to-coast route, is at the Edgewater Hotel here in Winter Garden at 99 Plant Street, on the north side of Plant Street. At this point, the trail transitions from the center of Plant Street to the north side of Plant Street and goes right past the Winter Garden Heritage Museum. The bright yellow caboose invites you to go inside and have a closer look, so I did. This bright yellow caboose is from the Chesapeake and Ohio train line and dates to 1948. This caboose sits in front of a historical railroad station and is part of the Winter Garden Heritage Museum. The museum is operated by the Winter Garden Heritage Foundation, which seeks to preserve the heritage and architecture of West Orange County. These vintage vehicles and farm equipment are also part of the museum. At mile 5.3 is the Winter Garden Station. The Winter Garden Station offers permanent restrooms, bicycle repair station with air pump, playground, and plenty of free parking. There's also a bicycle rental vendor on the premises. The trail now exits the downtown Winter Garden area and makes its way over the next 2 miles up to Chapin Station. Not much chance of taking a wrong turn here. Obviously, West Orange Trail continues that way, but I'm curious about this Lulu Creek Trail. I'm going to go follow it, and I think it's a little spur trail, not very long. Consider it a bonus trail. The Lulu Creek Trail is 4/10 of a mile in length and follows the Lulu Creek. There are residential subdivisions to each side. Well, it's a short trail, about 4/10 of a mile, and just abruptly ends at the next cross street, but very pretty in between. Chapin Station has the usual amenities, including permanent restrooms, water fountain, bike repair station with air pump, bicycle stands, plenty of free parking, playground, and it also contains the main office for the West Orange Trail. Adjacent to the Chapin Station building is the Path of Life. This garden features a brick walkway through a variety of plants. Opened in 1999, the Path of Life Garden was started and is maintained by the local Bloom and Grow Garden Society. Their mission is to stimulate a love of gardening and to promote horticultural education. At the time of my visit, the azaleas are in full bloom. Over the next 4.5 miles, the trail will transition from the city of Winter Garden to the city of Ocoee. This segment ends at the Ingram Outpost. Located northwest of Orlando, the city of Ocoee has a population in excess of 47,000 and a land area of 16 square miles. Bluford Sims received a land grant for 74 acres in this area in 1883 and named the area Ocoee after a river that he grew up near in southeastern Tennessee. Ocoee, Florida became a town in 1925. This unusual fence is installed around the perimeter of the Forest Lake Golf Club. Looks to me like it'd be very effective in keeping errant golf balls from striking any users of the trail. I've never seen anything like it, but I'm thankful that it's there. This non-paved parking area is the Ingram Outpost and is located at the intersection of Clarcona Ocoee Road and Ingram Road. At the end of this segment at mile 13.6 is the spur trail to the Orlando Gap. This is the segment between the West Orange Trail and the Seminole Wekiva Trail. If you're riding the Florida coast-to-coast route, be sure to watch my video on the Orlando Gap. It shows you multiple routes through this gap so that you can decide which one works best for you and your comfort level with vehicle traffic and riding sidewalks and so forth. So if you're riding the Florida coast-to-coast trail, this is the spur trail that you would take to go over to Clarcona Ocoee Road to go through the Orlando Gap and get over to the Seminole Wekiva Trail. Right next to that is the Apopka Vineland Outpost for trail parking, right next to the Buddhist temple just beyond it. Nestled between the Orlando Gap Spur Trail and the Buddhist temple, the Apopka Vineland Outpost features a picnic shelter and porta potty in addition to vehicle parking. For vehicles, it is accessible from Apopka Vineland Road. I will not attempt to pronounce the name of this Vietnamese Buddhist temple, but it is a very pretty building. A mere 0.3 of a mile further along is the spur trail that goes up to Clarcona Horse Park. This is the turn to stay on the West Orange Trail. You make a right-hand turn here. It'd be easy to miss it and go straight ahead. There is a sign here, but it's I think it'd be fairly easy to miss that sign for the turn. So be aware when you get to this location, and there's a sign up here for trail crossing. If you want to stay on the West Orange Trail, that's where you turn to the right. At this time, I'm going to go on the spur trail straight ahead to go up to Clarcona Horseman's Park. I think it's about 0.9 of a mile to get up to the park. This is the McCormick Outpost here, trailside parking. No facilities other than the parking. The Clarcona Horseman's Park is an Orange County park that is specifically designed and set up as a haven for horse owners and features show rings with bleacher seating, judging towers, and horse stalls. There are several horse trails through the surrounding wooded area and includes the trail to the nearby horse-friendly West Orange Trail. The on-site campground has facilities for both RV camping and for tent camping. For those of you riding the Florida coast-to-coast route, take note, as this campground will accommodate tent campers, and it's a mere 1.2 miles or so from where that spur trail branches off from the West Orange Trail. Where the spur trail ends at the park, you'll see the campground to your right, but you can't get there directly at that point. There's an exit-only gate there, so you'll need to go to the left and then right along Damon Road to get to the main entrance of the park, and turn right in there and follow the road around to the park office. I've been told that spaces 18 and 19 are for tent camping, and here's what they look like. And there's permanent restroom and shower facilities here. Continuing on from the spur trail that goes up to Clarcona Horseman's Park up to the Apopka Station is about 4.3 miles. In this section, the trail transitions from the city of Ocoee to the city of Apopka. Apopka is a very fast-growing area with a total population of over 55,000 and a total area of 36 square miles. Apopka has been called the indoor foliage capital of the world due to the many greenhouse nurseries that are here, especially in the northern part of the city of Apopka. Apopka is also known for outdoor recreation with a multitude of lakes and natural springs. This huge structure coming up is for trail users to get over safely US 441, or Orange Blossom Trail as it's called locally. I'm always impressed and thankful for these structures that are installed for the safety of the trail users. Thank you, trail planners, for the monies and the efforts that go into these kinds of structures. At mile 18.2 is Apopka Station, and it features the usual amenities: water fountain, bike repair station with air pump, permanent restrooms, playground, and lots of free parking. This northernmost segment of 4.2 miles goes mostly along Park Avenue, which becomes Rock Springs Road a little further up, and then the final mile is west on Lester Road. This is where the trail turns to go down Leicester Road to the west. My understanding is that eventually the trail will also keep going north to connect to the Neighborhood Lakes trailhead. At mile 22 on the north side of Leicester Road at 323 Leicester Road in Apopka is the Avian Reconditioning Center. They specialize in raptor rehabilitation, also wildlife education, and falconry. I'll let Paula of the ARC explain in more detail and introduce you to one or two of their patients.
Good morning, my name is Paula and I'm a volunteer here at the Avian Reconditioning Center in Apopka, Florida. We do three things here. We do education, we do rehabilitation, and we practice the ancient sport of falconry. Falconry is very useful in our rehabilitation work. We are a 501c3, not for profit. We are governed by the Federal Fish and Wildlife, Florida Fish and Wildlife, and now the USDA. So we follow a lot of regulations so that we properly handle these birds to make sure that our birds are safe, that our visitors are safe, and that their handlers are safe. We don't receive any funding from any of those organizations. We are completely self-funded through the generosity of individuals who bring us donations, through our small admission fee of $5, our program outreach, which numbers about 100 programs per year throughout the state of Florida, and then through our sponsorship program where you can adopt and sponsor the care of a bird like Mrs. P. Again, we have a small resource store here on the property, and we are open every Saturday from 10 until 4. The birds do start heading home about 3, so come early in the day if you want to see our flight demonstrations. Our classroom has a lot of different things that you can handle and learn from, talons, feathers. We've got growth charts, so I hope that you will come and visit us. Mrs. P is an 18-year-old barred owl, and she is here with us because when she was found on the ground out of her nest at about 5 weeks old, she was taken to a qualified rehabber, but instead of putting her in with adult role models so that she could continue to grow up as a wild barred owl, they hand-fed her, they talked to her, she became imprinted or accustomed to people. With those factors factoring in, she didn't have the skills necessary to live in the wild. So come and see us and all of our other birds, meet Mrs. P, and have a selfie taken with her. So if you've never seen an owl's ear, I think you're going to be surprised. There's a good look at it. So their ears are asymmetrical. One ear is higher and one ear is lower. That allows a micromillisecond of difference in processing the sound. They use the facial disc, the low ear that you saw, the high ear, they triangulate and they can home in and go get that prey with their eyes closed. Come and see the ear in person. Good girl.
So the bird that I have with me today is a short-tailed hawk. This is sable. They're very rare to find in Florida. There's only a small population of around 400 to 500 individuals, but they're a lot more common in places like Central and South America. They're a very tropical species of bird. They like areas with warmer environments. And despite their name, they don't actually have short tails. What they do have, though, are very large, long wings. If you'll show them. She doesn't want to, it's fine. But those long wings give off an illusion of a very short tail. So that's how they got that very creative name of a short-tailed hawk. If you were to see them in Florida, you'd see two different color morphs. Sable, obviously, is a dark morph, which is almost completely black, but if you look closely, She has black and white markings underneath her wings and tail. The lighter morph is a lot more rare to find here, and in my opinion, they look a lot cooler. They have a white chest, sort of a reddish neck, and a darker back. But as I said, you're more likely to see the darker morphs if you were to see them at all. Now, if you were to see a short-tailed hawk, you would see them in areas of edges of woodlands, so like forests right next to open fields. That's where you're going to see them hunting a lot of birds. They're very specialized hunters. They're known for catching small species of songbirds like quail, lark. But their favorite prey, though, is red-winged blackbirds. And we know that just by studying their stomach, what's in their stomach, and the remains that we found by their nest. Unfortunately, though, these are very elusive hawks. They don't like to be near people, so they're not very common they're very hard to find in Florida. The people that have studied them have found very few nests, so it's very hard to understand them very well and just know a lot about them. And we got sable here. All the birds that we have here are non-releasable because of some sort of injury or one another. Sable is a very sad story. So in December of 2009, she was shot in her right wing with a BB gun. And it is illegal to shoot any bird that is not game or invasive because all those birds are protected under the Migratory Act. So like a crow and a bald eagle have the same protection. But we think those people didn't know that, and that they thought they were shooting at crows, which is still illegal. But you can see how this bird would look like a crow. But when we finally got her in, the damage was already done, and we couldn't remove the pellet from her wing because that would cause a lot of stress. So she's non-releasable and can't fly the way she used to. So we give her the proper care that we can here and make sure that she is well fed, and has a good living environment.
So this is Sparky here, and Sparky is a peregrine falcon. And what's awesome about peregrine falcons is that they're actually the fastest animals on the entire planet. So they do this thing called a stoop, which is a dive when they're hunting. So they fold their wings in real close and go head first at their target, and they can reach speeds over 200 miles an hour. So they're super fast. Now the name peregrine falcon also kind of roughly translates to wandering falcon from Latin. So that has to do with their really long migration. So a lot of them will nest and breed up north, like in the Arctic, and they'll migrate down as far as South America during their migration in the winter. So that's actually how Sparky here got his injury. He was migrating from up north, and he crash landed in Alabama, and he injured his wing. So because of that, he was brought here to a rehabilitation center, and they wanted to make sure that he could heal up all right, and his wing did actually heal pretty well, but they found out that his feathers don't really grow in so well anymore, so he doesn't have all the feathers that he needs to fly. So he is a permanent bird here, just like all of the other birds that are on display. But yeah, he'll never be released. And peregrine falcons are also falcons, so they have a lot of special features that separate them from things like hawks or eagles. So one big thing are their very angular wings that helps them with that really fast flying. They're also primarily bird hunters, so they got these really long toes here that you can see that help them to grab around birds and kind of hold on to them better than another bird could. What's up, Sparky?
A big thank you to Carol McCorkle, the owner of the Avian Reconditioning Center, and to her husband, Scott. I appreciate not only the work that you do, but for being so gracious to be on camera and to tell me about the ARC and to introduce me to several of your birds of prey. And also my apologies. I'm sorry, but I had audio difficulties here for both you, Carol, and you, Scott, and one of your other volunteers. I did not get any audio. I got only some video here. But again, thank you and my apologies. The Avian Reconditioning Center is located on Lester Road in Apopka and is open to the public on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please check them out and see for yourself the good work they do there. And this is the north end of the West Orange Trail. It's been a long, hot ride today, especially with all the little spur trails and taking a look at all the trailheads and so forth, but I still enjoyed it. I hope you get out there and enjoy the trails as well. It's a great day for a bike ride. Just a reminder that the GPX files for today's ride and all my rides are available on ridewithgps.com. Just select from the drop-down menu routes and do a search on Ed Cycles, and you'll see all the routes. The ones for today's route, for example, will be West Orange Trail in the direction that I show on the video. And there'll be another file for West Orange Trail return, which would be the return trip the opposite way. Props.